Today, let's talk about how to follow up professional emails, either when you get no reply or a negative reply. Now, because I love talking about grad school, the examples I'm going to use here will be tilted towards, a grad school request for funding. And I'm going to share a testimony from a student that used one of these methods I'm going to discuss today. So without wasting time, let's get started. Now, the first thing you should consider doing when you send the original email is to indicate when you will likely follow up if you have no reply from this particular senior colleague or professor, whatever the case might be for you. And when you indicate a time, make sure you follow up at that particular time. And for a follow-up email, I advise that you keep it short to one paragraph if possible. And also make sure you consider the time zone of the receiver of that email. And why do I say this? When it comes to time zone, you should think about targeting your email to be delivered around the time this receiver would resume early in the morning. Okay? Because most of the time, for example, in grad school, professors usually check their emails first thing in the morning. So you want to, target around that period. Now, I hope you know that you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to send an email if you have a vastly different time zone from the receiver. If you are using a Gmail account, there are ways you can schedule your email to get delivered at a specific time. So you should try to use that to your advantage. Now, first, I'm going to talk about an example of a follow-up email when you get no reply from the receiver, or in this case, a professor. The email can look like this. Hello, Dr. ... I hope you're having a good day. I was wondering if you received my recent email titled, you include the subject of the email, and in this case, it's PhD mentoring request, Peter Dari. I am really enthusiastic about the opportunity and I eagerly anticipate your reply. Thank you for your time and consideration. Now I'm going to show you an example of the results one of my mentees got when he sent this kind of email to a professor for, mentoring in grad school. Thank you for following up. I appreciate a student that is persistent. I am actually looking for a student as I have funding in place for a new student. I would be interested in speaking with you online to tell you more about the projects we are working on and hear your interests. How is your availability next week? Now, this communication was in May 2020, and this particular student will be starting his PhD at Auburn University in spring 2021. So that is the power of staying persistent and making sure you follow up without, being rude or annoying. So this is a respectful way to follow up when you get no reply to your email. So as you can see, following up after you get no reply from a senior colleague in your field could be a sign that you are very persistent in the pursuit of any goal that you have, as you can see in this case. Generally, I would say you follow up about 2 to 3 days after your original email. And after your maybe third follow-up email, if you still don't hear anything from that person, you should move on to the next person. Now, let's talk about how to follow up when you get a negative reply. That means you actually got a reply, but that person says, sorry, I have no spot for you, or I can't do this for you, whatever the case might be. But I'm going to show you an example of a follow-up email when you get a negative reply. And like I said, this is tailored towards a grad school request for mentorship or funding. Hello, Dr. ... Thank you so much for your reply. While it is unfortunate that a position does not exist in your lab at this time, I am really keen to move forward with my PhD. Now see the bold letters here. Could you possibly recommend a colleague in the field, either within or outside ABC University, that I can contact? I really appreciate your time and effort. Regards. So it is very important that you seek that recommendation, as it can also be a sign of your persistency when you are chasing a particular goal. Now, let me tell you why this is important. If you happen to get a referral, if this particular person sends you or recommends someone to you, what you should do when you contact this new person is, like one of the first lines of your email, you should state that Dr. So and so recommended that I contact you for so and so. Now, that could be key to endear you to this new person. And I'm almost sure that if this person has a way to help you, he or she would take up that opportunity because he has been recommended by, a friend or a colleague. So that is why you should always seek this kind of recommendation, even when you get a negative reply. Now, if you send this kind of email and the person does not reply at least once, just move on to the next person. But the worst thing you can get is, sorry, I can't recommend anyone, or share silence. I've been successful at using this method in other aspects of my professional life before, so I know this can work if you are lucky. So that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget that you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram on Bestman Academy. And you can also connect with me on LinkedIn or follow me on my personal pages on Instagram and Facebook as well. All the links to do that will be in the description below. And I just want to wish you all the best in the pursuit of your professional goals. I am Dr. Ojo, and I'll see you in the next video.